Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nana, I'm based in Berlin. And first of all, thank you so much for being here, for your support, for your kind comments. I've read all of them and I think I also replied to all of them. It's very much appreciated. I'm here for the community and it's lovely to meet other knitters and also get some feedback and exchange. Yeah, today I want to proceed with a very classical knitting podcast episode. In the past, I kind of violated a bit the rules of what a classic knitting podcast should look like. It was more because I thought I should provide as much information as I can and give you as much input as I can, and I think that was good, also to give an introduction to my knitting, but I would like this episode to be super chill, super relaxed, a bit more chatting, maybe not as information dense this time. And I also don't have so much to show you, but some nice pieces, I think. And I am drinking from a beautiful mug, also produced by a fellow knitter, by Vivi from Denmark, who's also an incredibly talented ceramics artist. So if you would like to support a small business, go and check out her website. I can very much recommend it. I'm a big fan of ceramics and hers feels really velvety and she has interesting shapes and colors. I really like, my mug by her. And today I will start with finished objects, with works in progress, acquisitions and plans. And towards the end of this video, I would like to talk about ideas and plans for this channel, what I was thinking about. And also there, your feedback is very much appreciated. Please let me know what you would like to see from me, but let's chat about that later. Today my first finished object is sweater number 23 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I knitted this pattern for the second time, so I already have another sweater number 23. I made a short video about that one before in which I review it, and there I also say that I really like the shape. I like that it is, it has a sporty vibe to it. It almost feels a bit like a sweatshirt, and I like that as an everyday piece. And the one I have is brownish speckled. I wanted to have some more color in my wardrobe. And I did knit the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit before in a similar color like this one, in the color Sunny Lime. So the base is Sunday by Sandness, and I paired it with the Midnighter Soul by Camarose in lime, and the shade turned out to be something very beautiful between yellow and green. But the combination of the Midnighter Soul with the Sunday creates a very delicate fabric, and I wanted to have something more rustic, something for everyday life that I feel more comfortable with wearing, really in an active lifestyle. And that's why I wanted to knit it again in Peer Gynt, but paired also with a lace yarn, but this time the Folgedraht, this very fine lace weight alpaca yarn by Sandness as well. So I bought that in Sunny Lime, and then in my local yarn store they told me that the Peer Gynt is discontinued in the Sunny Lime, and I was like, oh gosh, oh no. But I was searching online and I found one online store that was still selling the Sunny Lime. So I ordered it, and when I received it, I was a bit disappointed because the shade was not what I expected. So this is my No Frills sweater. I also made a video about this one. The color is a bit more pale. It is a bit more yellowy. And when I received the Peer Gynt in apparently the same color, it was much more like apple, kiwi, more neon greenish. And I was like, oh no. But luckily the Folgedraht that I bought was more like the original color. And I thought if I combine these two, maybe this very bright green is diluted a bit towards more the yellow side of this shade. And I thought, okay, I'll try, I give it a go, because I also didn't want to return this. And this is the thing with buying yarn online, especially for unusual colors. So if it's a standard gray, off-white or whatever, okay. But if it is a very specific dye, then it is of course risky to buy it online, and I would not have done it if it was still available in the shop. And I think it worked that the Folgedraht diluted the color a bit. Not as much as probably a mohair or more fluffy lace yarn would have. This is now the direct comparison. I can show you some B-roll in the sunlight. But I'm actually happy how it turned out, and also maybe it would have been a bit awkward to have two sweaters in the exact same color. So maybe it was good to include some variety into my wardrobe, that yeah, it was not exactly as I wanted it to be. But yeah, otherwise I'm super happy. The sleeves are very nice and long. I love the long cuffs. I'm looking forward to wearing this because the pear gynt becomes softer over time. And my other pear gynt garments, I really like to wear them, and it's a sturdy, very long-lasting yarn. And it took me actually longer to finish than I expected, so it was quite tedious. And then I made a mistake because I was not focused. I did the Italian bind off, and then I blocked it and tried it on, and the seam, the bottom hem looked really not good. It was too wavy and not high quality. It looked stretched out, and then I realized I forgot the double knit. I forgot the last 2 rows of double knit before binding off. Yeah, so I had to come to terms with this reality in the end. So I opened it again, the Italian bind off, which is a bit painful, but yeah, once you just have to get into it, and then it's okay. And then I did the 2 rounds of double knit, and now it's really nice. Yeah, I can also show you the comparison of both my sweaters number 23. Shape-wise, they turned out very similar, so that's good. And the other finished object, which was my Olympe sweater vest by LePull, I made an entire separate video about that, in which I do an in-depth review because I was struggling a bit with knitting it up, and I also included it in my last week's video, in which I summarize, or in which I revisit and review all my slipovers and vests. So this one is covered by multiple videos of mine. Yeah, but it's a great garment, and yeah, but I haven't worn it yet so much. I mean, I've had it now for 1 week. I'm looking forward to wearing this more, and I can imagine knitting another one, considering all the things that I messed up in the first place. And yeah, but for that I have to accumulate some more scrap yarns again. Yeah, that for my finished objects. And now coming to my works in progress. Again, I'm showing you my socks. And I entered them into Hanan's knit along, her boring socks knit along, because I thought I need some motivation to finish them, because they turned out to be a bit boring knitting wise. But I am very much looking forward. So this is not a process knit, this is a knit for the finished object, because I knit socks like this before in a green. I can pop in a picture here. And I wanted to have socks that look exactly the same but in a different shade. And the yarn is the Mondim by Retrosaria Poma in this blush pink, or like dirty pink. I think the Scandinavian countries call it old pink, and in Germany we call it also Altrosa, which is the same as old pink. And I made up the pattern myself, so to say. I knit very tightly. I knit on 2mm needles, and because this is a 100% wool yarn without synthetic fibers, no acrylic, no polyester. And in my other pair I already have 1 hole that I mended, but I actually like that. I like mending, and also creative mending, colorful mending, and I like having a basic sock for it, so that the color of the mending doesn't clash with the colors in the sock. Yeah, so this one is basically finished. The first one, I just need to seam it together here. I just haven't done it because I always have to look up a video tutorial for it again because I cannot remember how it's done. Yeah, and then I have to knit the second one until the end of May, and then that's it. So, but I think it's a great shade for a sock because it is some color, but it is not a in-your-face color. And my second work in progress, this one is exciting because I could have finished it by now, but I lost yarn chicken. So, yeah, because this one was really flying off the needles. It's knitted on 6mm needles, super fast and super satisfying. And yeah, I like to touch the yarn, to hold it in my hands, and it is the Wabi Sabi Cardi from Milena, Paulina. I will write it on the screen. And the color is natural. I believe this is the undyed version, and it's a tweed yarn. A tweed yarn by BC Garn. It's the Hamilton Tweed 2. And this is 90% wool, 10% viscose. And the viscose makes it very flowy, very drapey. And what I like about this one, it's also GOTS certified, GOTS. This is the Global Organic Textile Standard. And actually, I would like to shift all my yarns to have some sort of this kind of label on them because animal well-being is super important for me because I have an animal here sitting right next to me and I love her to bits and I don't want any animal to suffer just because I have a hobby. Yeah. But I very much like the design. It is super oversized. It's supposed to have a positive ease of 50 centimeters, of half a meter. So this is really a lot of positive ease. And what I very much enjoyed about knitting this pattern is that I learned how to do these lateral braids. So it's not like crocheted on top of them, you knit them. And it was super satisfying and super fun to knit these, they call it lateral braids or Latvian lateral braids or something like this. I think it's a beautiful tweed yarn, quite heavy, but also still drapey. I'm very much looking forward to wearing it. Actually, it was clear to me that I will lose yarn chicken. But sometimes I just don't use my brain because this cardigan is meant to be super cropped and I am quite tall. I wanted to knit a size S, but in the length of size M or L, more L. But I think I ordered the yarn amount of size M, I think, or even S. So, yeah, at least one ball of yarn is missing. But I finished all the body. The sleeves, one sleeve, there's only the bind off missing, and for the other one, the cuff. And then I need to knit the button band and the collar and put on the buttons. Yeah, but I can show you some B-roll of me wearing it, and you can already see what it will look like in the end. And I'm already super excited about this one. Yeah. At first I was not sure regarding the color because on Instagram there are some pictures of other people wearing this cardigan and there was this one lady who knitted in greenish, almost like my sock yarn, which is this one. Almost like this in some sort of like olive green, and I believe it's the Jensen by Isa Year held double, so that's what she used, and also that looked really cool. But then I thought I really have a lot of green garments already and I would like to have something that I can pair with more colors. So I think that decision was good. Yeah, so these are my two works in progress, the cardigan and the socks. I've never been a knitter who has many different works in progress in parallel. I like to finish things, and because I get stressed out if I have too many things ongoing, because I also have other hobbies besides knitting. But I think next time I will be able to show you both of those finished. Yarn acquisitions. In one of my last videos I said I don't want to buy any new yarn because I want to bust my stash, and that didn't work out so well. Yeah, because Next week's video will be about socks again. I'm very much looking forward to next week's video. I've had the idea now for a really long time, and I decided I need more socks. And I need more woolen socks. And I love the Mondim, so I bought 2 more. And this is the one I already bought before. This is the one that I made the socks and I just talked about, the ones that already have a hole. And a problem with them was that I knit them a bit too small. The foot was a bit too short. And I would like to improve that and have a second pair, a bit larger ones. And I think this is the perfect color for me for socks. I mean, it can't get any better than this. So I thought it would be good to have another ball in my stock or stash. And then I would like to knit more brownish socks, because I think they pair very well with many things in my wardrobe. And I bought this one. This is the color 400 and this one is the color A573. And then I still will have some of the pink left. And I think all these are super nice for combining with each other. Yeah. I like the creative freedom you have with sock knitting. It's just amazing. And it's such a good project to take with you on public transport. And it's always good to have something on your sock needles. Yeah, those are the acquisitions. And now regarding the future of this channel, or what I would like to talk more about, because I deliberately didn't call the channel something with Nana Knits or whatever. I just named it with my name because I did not want to niche down too much on knitting, although everyone who does YouTube tells you niche down, niche down, niche down. But it wouldn't be my philosophy or wouldn't be in line with my values if I would knit only for YouTube, because I think that's unsustainable for me, for the planet, for like whatever. And I think it would kill my joy in making things. And because I'm also a watercolor artist, so to say, I link my website down below if you would like to check that out. I thought it would maybe be cool also to talk about art. So I could see myself doing a sketchbook tour, but a very like calm and silent one, something just to watch and relax, just for the visual input without lots of talking. And I would also like to do DIY vlogs maybe, something like thrift flips. And then I know this would be a bit more wild, but I've been renovating an old tiny house and I'm doing that all by myself, and it's the first time I'm using power tools and I'm teaching myself how to do it. And I could show some of that because I was filming. It's also in the DIY crafting area, but it's more like heavy work. Yeah, and I was thinking maybe I could do something like Woolly Wednesday and Flexible Friday, so that if you're interested only in the fiber arts, knitting related things, you know videos will be coming out on Wednesday for that, and that on Friday I will do other things. Yeah. But it's tricky. I understand that it's tricky and some people are more interested in only one specific type of arts and craft. Today I'm filming and I'll be editing this video because I need to distract myself. I'm worried out of my mind because my dog is having surgery tomorrow and she's already 15 years old and she will be sedated. Maybe I should introduce you because everyone loves Emmy. Her name is Emmy. Oi. Here she is, this cutie pie. She's a dachshund. She's the sweetest and the loveliest dog, but quite an eating machine. She's always on the search for food. And now I also have to go and give her some. So thank you very much for being here. I very much appreciate if you would subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. My next video will be about socks, but from a different angle. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that video. Until then, please check out my previous video in which I show all the socks I've knit so far. And yeah, see you then. Bye bye.